Content disclaimer. The views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachers, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed. Greetings. Greetings. Can you hear me now? Put the number one in the chat if you could hear me now. If you could hear me now, put the number one in the chat, whether you're watching me on Facebook, Instagram, both of my YouTube channels, put the number one in the chat. Of course, you can see the universe working behind me. If you could hear me, put the number one in the chat. If you could hear me now, put the number one in the chat. Beautiful. Big up to all my international supporters. I want to tell you that I am very proud of your journey out there in the international world. Big up to all my international supporters. All of them. Welcome to the New Motivational Universe with your brother King Simon. I am your host. And although I may seem like I'm very somber and calm right now, it's your brother is going through some stuff. I'm going through some stuff. And I wasn't going to come on, but my spirit said to come on because talking to my audience is therapeutic also. I may be therapeutic for many of you out there, but talking to you is also therapeutic for me. Just wanted to share that with you. And although this is a simulated universe behind me, it calms my mind and calms my spirit. You know, yesterday I taught on the lesson yesterday was on grief and grieving. Taught a whole lesson on it yesterday. And I put the lesson together the night before, really around 3:00 in the morning, the night before. And then yesterday I found out one of my spiritual sons transitioned while riding his motorcycle. He was a good brother. And him and his sisters have been calling me Papa Simon since they were children. They weren't my biological children, but they were my spiritual children. I dated their mom years ago, and we still maintain a friendship. The mom got married recently. He got married recently. Came out of the military, got married to the beautiful sister, bought a house out here in Georgia. And his love for bikes, motorcycles, he transitioned recently. I heard it was last night, the night before, but I heard it about yesterday afternoon. So your brother's going through it, and again, and it's so synchronicity that I taught on grief and grieving and the need to talk it out, let it out, don't hold it in. I love that family very much. And every time, majority of the time when I'm in New York, I visit his mother just as I'm passing by to go visit my son, because they live right in the same neighborhood, and she owns a nice little shop that they play dominoes and all that. I want to say condolences to the Jackson family in Brooklyn, New York. Lorraine, Aisha, Nakaira, you lost a very good brother, your big brother. Troy was a good brother, respectable. And I was proud to be his Papa Simon. And his transition has affected his family, his father, whom I never met, but I heard good things about him. His father is one of the people that encouraged him to join the military, and he did, and he came out successful. And he's going to be deeply missed, no doubt. He's going to be deeply missed. I haven't seen him in a long time, but when we do see each other, it's always a movie, so to speak. It's always a movie. So now, after speaking about grievance, I am now grieving. And everything is in synchronicity. It's in sync. Everything is in synchronicity. Man, I want everybody to do me a favor if you can. Although I know they probably have things prepared for him, you know. I'm going to share screen. I just want to show you how much of a beautiful person he was, real quick, before I get into my presentation, if you don't mind. This is my way of releasing pain. This is him right here. Troy Justin Jackson. This is what I wrote on his mom's page. I said, rest in peace to my little brother, that spiritual son, Justin Troy Jackson, who called me Papa Simon since he was younger. May the ancestors carry you into the realm of the greats before you. To my dear friend, Lorraine Jackson, I love you, and her wonderful daughters, whom I've known since they were children, Aisha Jackson and Nikaira Pineapple Jackson. My deepest condolences. And love goes out to all of you and the family. He was a good brother. He got married to this beautiful woman. Just recently got married. And he was so happy. And he enjoyed life. Young man enjoyed life, but he enjoyed life in his way. Yes. Beautiful brother. Turned out to be a great man. He's going to be truly missed. His sisters loved him. Moms loved him. Going to be truly missed. My brother. He was born October 9th. So he was in his critical cycle. And I tell people about this critical cycle. 9 in numerology is the number of accidents. So I always tell he started his critical cycle August the 18th. He transitioned in the morning or the night before, about August 19th, August 20th, that morning. He's right there on his critical cycle. And I tell people the importance of that critical cycle. And when you're riding or driving or doing certain things, you gotta be very careful. And he transitions on his motorcycle, doing what he loved. And I got it. Doing what he loved. It's not easy. Not easy. I want everybody to spread some Cash App love to his mom if you can. I did this morning. I want you and put in the description of the Cash App said King Simon's audience spreads love, sends love to you. Put it in the chat. If you can, spread some Cash App love to his mom, his beautiful mom. That picture that I showed you of her earlier. This is his mom right here, standing next to him. This is his mom right here, Lorraine. She almost became my wife, this woman here. Almost became my wife. Love you, Lorraine. But I'm glad she got married to someone that cares about her, that loves her. I got to meet her husband. Good dude, good brother. Very quiet, but I understand. Men don't need to talk too much. So if you can send Cash App love, the Cash App, just press that Cash App, it'll go directly to her. If you can send that Cash App, you don't have to send nothing to me. Send it to her. And although she's not out there putting no GoFundMe and all that, I believe everything, insurance and everything is taken care of. It's just want to spread love, and just put in the description from King Simon's audience. Spreading love through King Simon's audience. Let's show them some love, of course. Losing a son is not easy. Losing a child is not easy. Losing anybody that you love and care about is not easy. And yesterday I taught about grief and grieving. And if you ain't get to watch it, you can watch it on my YouTube channel. So, even the daughter said, wow, look how the universe works, Papa Simon. You speaking about grief and grieving, and her brother transitioned doing what he loved to do, ride his motorcycle. Ride his motorcycle. I remember I almost transitioned while riding a motorcycle. Let me share with you the words that she said, that Lorraine shared on her page. She said, I need prayer warriors. Please pray for my son, Troy Jackson. He was in a bike accident and is at the hospital. He is in GA, Georgia. I am in New York City and not able to speak to him. Please help me pray, please. And she sent out to communicate to the prayer warriors out there. And then the next post was this. Thank you all for your prayers. My son has died. I'm in prayer. I'm praying he wake up. He's not answering me. He looks like he's just sleeping. I don't know what to say. I can't breathe. I'm not well. He's a beautiful young man. He's the best son anyone can ask for. Mommy, love you. Justice, Troy Jackson. This is her sister, beautiful Nakaira, born May the 6th. He was born October 9th. His mom was born October 13th. Good friends of mine since they was children. I used to train his mother at Wingate Park in New York. We met on New York Avenue while I was heading over that way, and she was heading to work. It's over 20 years ago, really. And we've always kept that. Although we dated for a few, we always kept that tight friendship, always. Him and his sister at the wedding of their mother got married. And because her father wasn't alive, he walked his mom up the aisle for the wedding. I wasn't able to make the wedding, but that's him walking his mother up the aisle. If you find it in your heart to spread some love to the family, the Jackson family, through Cash App, please do so. I sent some love and energy to her, and I would love my audience, my numerovational babies, my numerovational brothers and sisters, to motivate them by spreading some Cash App love to them. Moment of silence for the young brother. It's not easy losing a child. Remember, yesterday somebody called in about losing a child also in 2014. Big up to Lakia. It's not easy. And I pray that all my children transition after me, not before me. That's what every parent wants. You want to be the first to transition. Not your children, not your daughters, not your sons. Not at all. No. My boy, him walking his mom to the altar to get married. Bless that woman. She's a very beautiful woman. That woman, I've known her for years, and all she did was take care of children. She used to have foster children and all that. I remember when we was together, she had foster children, and these children, her children, had to deal with the foster children. I remember this. Love and light, my dear brother Troy. Love and light to my brother Troy. Love and light. Love and light to the brother Troy. Yes. Yes. I hope y'all was able to send some Cash App love to him. Please. You don't have to send it to me. Send it to him. His mom. Although they're not asking, they're not on Instagram or YouTube or Facebook asking, they're not doing no GoFundMe and all that. I believe he had good insurance, and that will take care of everything. Coming out of the military, beautiful wife, expecting to live, and do his thing. Condolences to him and his family. Condolences to her and her family. Matter of fact, the picture on top of Facebook right here, look at this. This picture says it all. This is her 2 daughters. That's her new husband, great brother. That's her, that's him, and his wife. I think she's Latina. And that's his nephew, Elias. That's her son, Aisha's son right there. Aisha's son, Elias. Not easy. It's not easy. And this wedding took place around June recently. Big up to the mom. Not easy. Yeah, man. Yeah, condolences, Nate, losing your son. Condolences. It's not an easy. Life is what you make it, oh darling, my dear. Try and make it. I know that you will. Oh, life is what you make it, oh darling, my dear. strive to make it. I know that you will. Yeah, yeah, you know, it's not easy. May you rest in peace, power and paradise. Man, man. And although the transition of life is supposed to be a celebration, when someone tragically transition, it's different than when somebody naturally transitions. My grandfather transitioned in his sleep, but the pain is still the same because you remember their memory. You remember who they were. You remember the good times. Like yesterday, I was saying, for the good times. Al Green, take your hand time. You know, sometimes it's for the good times. Remember the good times of your child. I don't remember the good times. Now, 28 minutes in, let me go into the lesson. And again, if you could show some Cash App love to the Jackson family, Cash App is right there. Cash App, $ Lorraine J for Lorraine Jackson, LURAINJ. When you go on the Cash App, you'll see her beautiful smile. She's a beautiful woman, Lorraine J. And put in the description from King Simon's audience. If you can, spreading love from King Simon's audience. Okay, I have to bring myself back. I really do have to bring myself back because my spirit still said to come on because this is what I do. This is what I do. This is what I am commissioned to do in this realm. One of my commissions. And once you know your purpose, there's nothing that you cannot accomplish in a large way or a small way. Nothing you can't accomplish in a large way or a small way. Oh, yeah, I got this. Oh, yeah, I got this. Believe me, I know I got this for real. So this whole program that's coming up right now is dedicated, livicated to this young man transition. So I'm going to scroll the Cash App on the bottom. We keep the Cash App going on the bottom. This whole program about to drop. Because today's program, I don't even want my Cash App and PayPal on there. Let me take my Cash App and PayPal off. This whole program is in livocation to him and his mom and his beautiful daughters. His beautiful sisters. This particular teenagers and young adults with depression, because his sisters are going to go through it. His mom is going to go through it. We already know what teenagers are. We already know what a young adult is. The word depression. I think I broke this word down before. The word depression. That is such a powerful word. And even the numbers are powerful connected to the word depressed or depression. Just writing it on the board, forgive me. Just writing it on the board. Word depression. And I want to pull up my I want to pull up my notes that I did write last night. I want to pull up my notes, very important notes that I wrote, that I thought about last night and put together. Because I want all of us to learn to heal from it. I want everybody to grow from it, heal from it, learn from it. Helping the new motivational and spiritual perspective of helping teenagers and young adults with depression, but also adults need help. And of course, I'm going to go to the board. I'm going to go to the board. It's rough, but this is healing for me. It's rough, but this is healing for me. Believe me when I say this. Rough, but this is healing for me. It's rough. Wait a minute. 9 plus 16 plus 6 plus 10 plus 11 equals 52. So let me come in front of you, family. Let me come in front of you right now before I throw up. Let me come in front of you. The word depression in the Pythagorean system adds up to 52. Makes sense. Because remember, in my book, New Motivation for Mental Stability, the number 7 is a primary number of worry, depression, overthinking. When I add it all together, 4 plus 5 equals 9, 7 plus 9, 16, 6, 10, 11 equals 52. So it makes sense that this word depression would add up to one of the mental health numbers in my book, New Motivation for Mental Stability. It makes sense. So that's why I tried to show people that the people that write and came up with the words like this are studying numbers and applying numbers in the background also, so it can all add up and mathematically be in line. The mathematical alignment. Let's see what it says in the Chaldean system, which is the oldest of the two. That's the Pythagorean system. Let's see what it says in the Chaldean system. "43." Wow. Again, the number 7 shows up in the Chaldean system. So this is not coincidence. Now it's not coincidence. This is pattern. And because in the Pythagorean system it adds up to the 52, when it comes to working with young adults and teenagers, you have to be adaptable with them when it comes to depression. You have to be communicable. That means you have to communicate in an adaptive, on a non-judgmental way, because the 5 is the energy of freedom and non-judgment. The 2 say you have to come with compassion, because the word depression adds up to 52. And when it comes to dealing with depression with our young people, our young adults, our teenagers, we have to be non-judgmental and have compassion in order for that law of attraction number to be pulled in, and that spiritual, introspective, and reflective number to be used in its most appropriate way, so they don't take hold of depression to the point it becomes overly depressive to the point that they want to do something or do some type of harm to themselves. Got to really pay attention. 43 deals with communication also because the 4, 3, and 5 are communication numbers. But this comes with discipline of the mind and the willingness to build a foundation at number 4 in the 43. The 3 deals with trying to bring out some form of jovial and optimistic attitude out of the person that might be suffering from depression. So let me check that number again. Let me check the number again to make sure I'm all wise, right, and exact. It's up to 43. I want to take the time out to go to this book because this book by Tanya Gabriel, this book, she has an interesting perspective about the alignment and the alignment number and the unalignment number of these numbers. So when you go to Tanya Gabriel book, and if you want to get the book, it's called Tanya Gabriel, the Numerology Handbook. Although she's not using words, she's really pertaining to people and their names, and whenever the number 54, 53, 52, or 43 shows up, what does she say about the number 52? She said 52 is a powerful sacred vibration and brings an enormous appetite to learn mystical secrets, to explore the unknown. Because when one goes into depression, we are exploring the unknown, because to every word and letter in this word, there is a spiritual and a physical representation. So whatever it adds up to or equates to at the end of the day, there is a physical and a spiritual representation. So she says, you need to understand the link between the seen and the unseen. The seen is what is coming out of that person at that time. What is the unseen behind the word depression? That's what 52 is telling you to do. Pay attention to the unseen of this world, because sometimes it's something that somebody holds in. Because 7 and those double sevens that you see here means that that person is holding something in and letting it foster and germinate in them to pull them down the road of depression. And because they have the master number 11 and master number 33 in the word depression, because of the double S, it intensified the frequency of the 52, which is 7, where that deals with the spiritual equilibrium between the physical and the spiritual realm, but also it also deals on the negative with deception and being careful of deceiving yourself with your depressive thoughts or your thoughts of depression. That intensifies the word. Make no doubt about it. Because numbers are not subjective, they're objective. The shadow side, as she goes on to say, of the number 52 is expressed when you are out of alignment, guard against narrow-mindedness, jealousy. You can shut the doors. You can shut the door to the outside world due to the inability to handle noise, distraction, and you may feel separated from the source. When people get depressed, they separate themselves from the source. They separate themselves in the belief or the knowledge of the creative force in them or the God energy within them. They separate themselves because some of the people don't believe anymore that anything can help them or anything that's invisible, the unseen, that can help them in the seen world. That's why some depressive people take their life. And if you're going through any form of depression, let me talk to y'all right now. Those that are going through depression, children, adults, if you as the parent if you and the parent does not know how to therapeutically help them, then send them to people that can help them. Go to the suicide hotline that can help them. And I always have the suicide hotline on fleek right now. 1-800-273-8255. 1-800-273-8255. Suicide Prevention Lifeline.org. You got to not only, and I speak about this in my book, New Motivation for Mental Stability, we as family and friends have to recognize, because we are those that go through depression, we are their accountable partners, our accountable friends, and you need accountable friends to be able to pull your coat and say, look, I see you've been going through some stuff. Can I help you? Can I guide you? Can I pay for a therapeutic session for you? Not a numerology session, although numerology can help, but it is not the therapeutic set. And it could be therapeutic. Let me that, but I'm not a therapist. Lloyd is not a therapist. So when I see that people are depressed or going through depression in any way, then I will send them to, like I said earlier, to someone like Alicia, the therapist Alicia, Dr. Alicia, Boyce Watkins' wife. That's her link tree right there on the board. Linktree/King Sign, Linktree/Dr. Alicia. That's her. If you want to talk to someone that's soothing and that, or mental clinicians, clinicians, people that deal with mental health in a clinical way, like Sister Golda just sent me a name just recently, like worker, a brother named Light Worker. I forgot his name, but she just sent me something to that person. And yes, you have to be willing. The person that is going through depression has to be open, because going to the Chaldean, the number 43, the shadow side of the number 43 is expressed when you are out of alignment and you can experience emotional, physical pain due to excess. You can feel isolated, angry, and conflicted with going through depression. That's the shadow side of the number 43. The powerful alignment side is symbolized as a strong intuition. So when you're going through depression, or you feel that depressiveness or depression is coming on, you have to intuitively lock it down, shut it down, because the 4 that leads the 43 is the number of discipline. It's the number of confining something, or you can be confined mentally in your own head to let depression take hold. But really, you're supposed to put a chokehold on it, and then let the optimistic of life, the optimism of life, the enthusiastic of life take over. That's why 3 is there. And then you will attract what you want, because 7 is the law of attraction number. 43, as she says in her book, you have to use practical and creative and strong ways in this realm when you're going, or when you feel that depression might crawl up on you. This is not a joke. Depression is not a joke, especially when it comes to teenagers, especially when it comes to young adults, especially when it comes to anyone, to children. It's not a joke. Because at the age of 8, my personage at that time thought about taking my own life, because I felt that nobody loved me, so I became depressed. And the only way out, I thought it was to go cut my wrist. I still have the little marking on my wrist now, because it was done at the age of 8. I know it was on my left hand because I was a right-handed person. Or I presume to be, because I use my left hand. I could write with my left and my right. I trained with my left and right. In martial arts, they taught us to move with our left and our right. And because the word depression has the number 33 with the double S, remember what the S symbolized in history when you had the medical symbol of the snake. It's a spiraling up. I forgot what the symbol is called, the caduce. I forgot what the symbol is called. but that symbol of S represents something in the Chaldean system. And it's important because the double S represents 33, and 33 is the master healer, the master teacher. That means through your depression and whatever you go through in depression, it's supposed to be a healer and teacher of you. And then you're supposed to turn your pain, your pleasures, and your passion from this depression and turn it into profit. People have written books, written songs about depression and going through depression. Sean Kingston has written songs about it. Mary J. Blige has written songs and made millions of dollars because depression can be flipped into something that can be beneficial if you learn from it and you turn the lessons into a blessing, because it both adds up to the 7, which is the law of attraction number. So you can either attract the positive of it or the negative of it. So I suggest everybody that goes through depression, you need to write it out and be willing to turn your writing, your artwork, your music. That's why people get into music and listen to music, because music soothes depression, soothes the savage beast in all of us. The right type of music, not just any music, the right type of music. Again, this particular program is in tribute to, you see the Cash App scrolling, to the young man and his family. He just transitioned in a car, in a bike accident. Troy Jackson, Justice, Troy Jackson. She named him Justice. Troy, we know that's a name of a great conqueror back in the day. Great warrior. Jackson is a master number 22. Jackson 5s held that number. So you'll see the Cash App. Matter of fact, let me pin it to the top. Those who want to send this. And he just transitioned, just got married recently. His mom's just got married. He loved bikes. He loved motorcycles. But him being born October 9th, he's in a critical cycle since August 18. And he transitioned between August 19th and August 20 in his critical cycle. Numbers don't lie. People lie to themselves. And these cycles, patterns, and sequences, we have to pay attention to them. These cycles, patterns, and sequences, remember your critical cycles is always 52. It starts always 52 days before your birthday. And those are the cycles you have to pay close attention when you're driving or riding or doing certain things that might be a little skeptical of, that people might be a little skeptical about. Be careful of accidents, being accident prone. And then he's born October 9th, which is an accident prone number. You can read it in Lloyd's book. You can read it in my book about that number 9 energy. So getting to the point, again, if you can, spread some Cash App love to the family. This young man called me Papa Simon, since he was a child. Called me Papa Simon since he was a child. Because I used to date his mother, and his mother learned so much from me, and I learned so much from her, but we never got married. We would have, but we never got married. But I love her and her family, and her son Troy just passed on due to a motorcycle accident right here in Atlanta, right here in Georgia. I won't say Atlanta, Georgia, but right here in Georgia, riding a motorcycle. So if you can spread love to his family, Cash App /$. The link is in the, I'm going to put it in, I'm going to pin it to the top. I'll pin it to the top of this particular broadcast, because I'm livicating this broadcast to him, his mother, and his beautiful sisters. And please, in the description, just put from King Simon's audience. Anytime you send a Cash App, just put from King Simon's audience, love and light. If you could hold. From King Simon's audience. I sent some frequency to her, some circulation to her earlier. And I want my audience to help send some circulation to her also. When I say she's a good sister, a jovial, happy-go-lucky, laughing sister, believe me, her smile penetrates the room. She just had that loving energy. She always was willing to help people. She took care of foster children. And I remember one time I was in the house when I was dating her. It have to be like 20 years ago, probably 15, 20 years ago. And she had foster children in the house. And I was coming from her room going into the bathroom late at night. I was damn near half asleep. One of the foster child, and I remember the child was born February the 11th. One of the foster child was in the bathroom, but they did not lock the door. So, and it was slightly open. So I just pushed in the bathroom and she got so nervous because whatever she went through. And when I found out she went through, and I said, "Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, please remember, close the door when you go into the bathroom." She was a young girl. Go to the bathroom. When you go into, close the door when you go into the bathroom. Lock the door. Or maybe she didn't like the lock, but closing. So you always got to close and knock. And I would have knocked if it was closed, but the door was slightly open and it didn't look like anybody was in there. That girl got so nervous. Thought I was going to do something to her. And I just apologized. And I went back to the room, held my urine in until she came out the bathroom. And I talked to the mother the next day. I talked to Lorraine the next day. And she said, "Oh, that child been through so much abuse. The mother used to sell her to men." She was born on February the 11th. I never forget her birthday. The mother used to sell, the mother that she got the child from through the foster care. Mother was on the drugs and used to sell that child to men as a child, little girl, to get more crack and more drugs. It was crazy. When I heard the story, I started crying. I didn't understand why a mother would do that. I didn't understand that shit. Why would you do that to your child? But that crack and them drugs are wicked. Crack and that drugs and that. I'm so happy that I went into the Ansarul law community during the crack era. Crack in that drug. I became Muslim during the crack era. So I still remember that in my soul. That little girl was so frightened. She backed up like I was coming to her. And I said, no, that's not me. No. I closed the door and said, just make sure you close the door in the bathroom, because she was young. She was probably around 11 years old, 10, 11 years old. But she was being sold before she came and was being taken care of by this beautiful woman named Lorraine Jackson. And her children had to accept that. And the children are so innocent. They played with them just like they were children. We had fun and we went out and drove around and, while I was dating her, and it was just a beautiful time. But these foster children go through a lot. Depression, powerful thing. Depression is a powerful thing. Yeah, she does have a great smile in that Cash App. She's a great. If you had ever met her, she'd try to help you pull the shirt off her back. I remember she drove down all the way to Georgia to come pick me up. Or drove all the way to New York to come pick me up, to take me back to Georgia to come visit my family. All the way to Georgia, stayed a few days, visit her family and all that, and came out, and we went right back down. And I helped her drove down. So please, if you can, spread some love. Today's lessons is still a true friend that regardless if we're in a relationship or not, she's always been a true blue friend. And her children always love me as Papa Simon. To this day, I text that little girl and call them little girls and they'll say, "Papa Simon, how are you? Papa Simon, how you doing?" So I know they're going to miss their brother. I know they're going to miss their brother, because he was just the love of light to them. I know they're going to miss their brother. I know they're going to miss their brother. He was just that happy-go-lucky person, a Libra, October 9th. October 9th also. And number 9 is that humanitarian love energy. And then born under that Libra is connected to that number 6, that scale energy, that balance, that love, that harmony. He loved his sisters. He will kill for his sisters as well as die for his sisters and his mother. So I know, like I said, this program is dedicated, livicated to this young man and his mom, this young man who transitioned. It's livicated to her beautiful family. I'm going to show the picture again before I finish off, because I want to finish off with my notes that I took. I want to finish off with the notes that I took on this depression thing and healing young people from depression, how important it is to help the youth, young people, children through depression by any and all means necessary. This young man just transitioned. This young man right here in the beige suit, that's his beautiful mom's, Lorraine, just transitioned recently. Motorcycle accident, just got married, I think last year. His mom just got married this year. He's in his critical cycle before his birthday. When you're in your critical cycle, family, you got to be a little bit more mindful of how you're driving, what you're riding, how you're walking. And I'm not saying to be paranoid in your critical cycle, because the critical cycle is the number of completion and endings and consulting with your elders, investing in real estate, all that kind of stuff. Those are positive. But when it comes to your health and coming to when you're driving or messing around with weapons or all that in your critical cycle, you got to be a little bit more alert. He transitioned while riding his motorcycle, doing what he loved, because nines are supposed to do what they love. No doubt. No doubt. They're supposed to do what they love. Live life to their fullest. No doubt. That's what he's supposed to do. What he's supposed to do. No doubt. I don't fault him for riding the bike. I can't fault the bike. Whatever happened, happened. And it was supposed to happen in his critical cycle before his birthday. Cycles, sequences, patterns. Numerology is not psychic. It just pays attention to cycles, patterns, and sequences. And it's funny that I'm living in a house of another good friend of mine, of whom I've known for 40 years. You know, Aquarius, we be keeping friends for years upon years. And her son got taken out here in Atlanta. We believe he got set up because and I'm not even going to get into that story, but I'm living in a house where he was also living. His pictures are on altars over here in this house. Enough respect to him. Love and light to his spirit. So now, years later, to see another young man that used to call me either Baba Simon or, Uncle Simon or whatever, or Papa Simon, to find that they get taken up, transition. It's powerful. I feel it. I feel it in my soul. And I wasn't going to come up, but my spirit said, I got to come up, because this is how I release. And I just want people, you don't have to circulate no funds. That's why I took down my Cash App and my PayPal, but you can circulate funds to her Cash App and her PayPal, because she really is a beautiful woman, beautiful soul. Take it from your brother. I may have not been able to hold on to it because of my fickleness. Like she said to me one time, and I love that she said what she meant and meant what she said. She said, King, she said, Simon, you're fickle. And this is my younger days. She said, you're fickle. And I had to look up that word and study that word. And I got angry at the first moment. I got a little upset, got caught up in my ego. And then I said, you know what? You're absolutely right. After a good, probably good an hour or two, I'm not somebody that holds on to grudges and issues too long. So I studied it. I looked up the word fickle. Just like another friend of mine said, I had to develop my empathy, being empathetic. I looked that word up, and then I realized I had to become empathetic. Because sometimes people see you when you don't see yourself. And this was one of the women that seen me. And I don't say the woman that owned this house see me when I didn't see myself. They seen the greatness of who I am, even in relationship. This same woman right here, Lorraine, the mother of this boy, this young man, this great man, the same woman said to me, one thing I loved about you, King Simon, one thing I love about you, Simon, because they used to call me Simon Temple. I was on radio and all that. One thing I love about you, Simon, is that you was attentive. She pointed that out to me, made me be aware that I was very attentive to her as a boyfriend at that time. Although I was fickle to get married and was nervous about going down that road again. And plus my divorce wasn't even finished. I was separated and all that kind of stuff. I was going through it. But she pointed, and you got to have those accountable partners, whether it's your man or your husband or your boyfriend or your girlfriend, that can point out the little things about you, and you could point out the little things about them without being angry. Because sometimes we are pictures on the wall. Sometimes we are pictures on the wall, and this could be the picture on the wall right here, this book right here in front of you. But you don't see yourself leaning, and you need somebody, an accountable friend, not no yes man or yes woman. You need an accountable friend that can help you to untilt yourself, to bring balance, because you're the picture on the wall. And sometimes we're walking the street looking all tilted, upside down and left, right, and looking like this. But you need accountable people to straighten you up, to remind you, so you can be hanging on that wall or walking in life in a straight, upright manner. Yes, I needed that from those women. And every woman that I ever dealt with at a certain period of time, majority of time was very reciprocal with their energy. I just did it my way because I was that rebellious Aquarian. I'm a rebellious person, but I still was attentive and respected their time when they was with me. And even if I fooled around and had womanized and all, even every woman that I womanized around, I was attentive to them, because if they came to my house and you spending time with me, I'm cooking food for you, or I'm bringing you, or I'm massaging your body, or massaging your feet, or whatever. I'm doing it. Because I think that's what's supposed to be done. Be attentive. And some men have to learn to be attentive, pay attention. And, that's like, the Mac. I was watching the Mac, and he was saying basically the same thing. You got to know how to attend to you have to know how to tend to your flock. And that's what I was doing. Attended to my flock when I was in that world of partying and all that kind of stuff. So, and she knew me during that time. So, again, this show is dedicated to this beautiful sister and her son who just transitioned. Her son just transitioned on a motorcycle. And let me take this down and let's share the spiritual meaning, my notes that I had written up from last night. While thinking about him, while thinking about young people in general, thinking about me as a young person, what I went through as far as depression was concerned. I went through it, brothers and sisters, to the point that I almost took my life 3 times in my life. And after the 3rd time and found out that it was in the bloodline of my great-grandfather who did do it, I said, you know what? I'm breaking these cycles. I'm not doing this. So let me give you some notes. I have a lot of notes. So I'm going to go through this real quick. You can always go to the description of this video. I wrote down all the notes in the description. So not only do I have healing teenagers and young adults from depressive hold, profound spiritual significance and I have I wrote down from a spiritual perspective, helping teenagers and young adults with depression. So let's go. Let me take a deep breath. If you're ready, put the number 1 in the chat. If you're ready for the last portion of it, put the number 1 in the chat if you're ready for the last portion of this. The critical cycle happens in, somebody asks, what age is the critical cycle? The critical cycle happens every year, 52 days before your birthday. Somebody asked that in IG. What age is the critical cycles happen from the time you were born? Matter of fact, before you get out your mother's womb, you're going into a critical cycle. You're in a critical cycle. If you're alive in the mother's womb right before you come out, your critical cycle is happening right then and there. And then you come out of your mother's womb right on your reputation cycle, right on your birthing day. The birth day is when you come into your reputation cycle, where your reputation and you're building and you're developing. You come out right in your developing cycle, your reputation and your developing cycle right there. But the critical cycle is one of the cycles of 52 days that goes throughout the whole year. You have different cycles. If you get my book, New Motivation for Mental Stability, or Lloyd Strayhorn book, Numbers in You, we talk about the critical cycle. We talk about all the 7 different cycles throughout the year that we go through. So thank you for that question about the critical cycle. And either you could spiral up or spiral down in those cycles. It's up to you. We give you the positive and negative. Numerology is objective, not subjective. So, number 1, from a spiritual perspective, helping teenagers and young adults with depression involves soul level connection, recognizing the sacredness and the worth of each individual. Each young person, each teenager. Sometimes you have to be attentive to these young people, these teenagers, in your own way. You're not going to always do it just like the mother does it. You're not going to do it like the father does it. Some of you are not going to do it like how the teacher does it. Some of you are not going to do it like how the therapist do it. But the recognizing the sacredness and worth of each individual is very important. Number 2, compassionate presence. Offering empathetic listening and supportive energy is also a very major part of this when it comes to dealing with young people, young adults, teenagers, and adults that still act like teenagers or still are holding on to their young persona, so to speak. Number 3, inner light activation, helping them reconnect with their inner strength, hope, and purpose. Helping them reconnect with their inner strength, hope, and purpose. Number 4, energy healing, using modalities like Reiki, meditation, yoga, or anything that helps with those. In the back of my book, I got a whole bunch of modalities, from sun gazing, all of that. Everything, every little thing that can help counts to balance their energy. And some of them, they're going to be rebellious. They're going to not want. They think balancing their energy is smoking weed or taking Percocets or taking Molly. Some of them think that's balancing energy, when that's not. That's destroying them. And a lot of them don't even know that it is destroying them. A lot of them don't even know that this is destroying them. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, they don't even know that it's destroying them. Number 5, spiritual exploration, guiding them to explore their beliefs, values, and connection to something greater. Because a lot of these young people, teenagers, give up on a God or a law or a higher force. So you got to help them to explore. Spiritual exploration, guiding them to explore their belief, values, and connection to something greater than themselves. Helping them to make that connection, breaking those cycles, like somebody said in the chat. Number 6, mindfulness and presence, encouraging them to stay present and focus on the current moment is important. And sometimes it's hard because they keep on going back to what daddy did or what mommy didn't do or what daddy didn't do and how they feel and all that. And sometimes our young people can be very narcissistic with their ways. They're not narcissists per se, but some people They put a label of narcissist on people that just have narcissistic ways due to the situation and circumstances that they may be in or what they've been taught. So mindful presence, encouraging them to stay present and focus on the current moment, is going to be very important. Number 7, self-love and acceptance. Teaching them to cultivate self-compassion, self-forgiveness, self-acceptance. Each one of those whatever follows self, needs to align you with self and take yourself to the next level. A lot of people are not thinking on how they can help their young people or help themselves to accept themselves on a higher self-acceptance, self-forgiveness, but accepting themselves in a positive manner, not in a negative manner. And usually what we're watching on television is what's destroying a lot of our children, to think negative. What music they're listening to, all of that got to be very careful. They got to be willing to change their mindset. Connection to nature, encouraging spending time in nature to foster a sense of belonging and oneness. I do that a lot. I got to go into nature. I got to ground myself. I got to hug a tree. I'm glad I learned that, because I remember one time going to one of these Black Power sisters, and, because she know me from being with Khalid and all that kind of stuff. She said, "What? So," and I started talking about tree hugging and all that. She said, "What? You're a tree hugger now?" I said, "That's one." I told her, "Look, I'm still a warrior, because Dr. Khalid taught us to be saints, saviors, soldiers, scholars, healers, and killers. He didn't just say killers and just be soldiers. The Warrior's Creed, according to Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad in his classes, was to be a saint, savior, soldier, scholar, healer, and killer. All of it is inside of me. I pray that the right one comes out at the right time. That's all I say. Saint, savior, soldier, scholar, healer, and killer. That's the Warrior's Creed that Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad taught us in the Nation of Islam under the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. That's what he taught us. So connecting to nature, encouraging spending time in nature, tree hugging, realizing the value of a blade of grass, the value of a beautiful plant, belonging and learning that the oneness of all of it is all. You think Khalid Muhammad didn't take off his shoes and put his feet in the grass? I beg your pardon. You think he didn't love taking a bath or a shower? I beg your pardon. Y'all didn't know Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad like many of us did. You think he didn't want his son to be himself and not to be him? I beg your pardon. His youngest son, Dr. Farrah Gray, is an extraordinary entrepreneur, and Dr. Khalid fostered that in him. Although you've seen him do security with him and all that, and had him for the summer times or had taken him around, Dr. Khalid wanted his son to be him, not to be himself and not to be him. So all you people that's disrespecting Farrah Gray because you don't know what Dr. Khalid wanted for his son. But let me get off of that. That's a whole nother class. Number 9, meaning making. What does that mean? Helping them find purpose, significance, and meaning in life will make them become greater. Meaning and making. Usually with all my children, and I have 9 of them, and I have 14, about to have 15 grandchildren. My daughter, big up to her. I spoke to her the other day. We had a very good laughing conversation. I just called her to make sure she's all right with her pregnancy and all that. And I told her that I spoke to her fiance, her significant other, and we had a great conversation just to make sure everybody's in sync. I'm not trying to control them. I just want to make sure we all balance. I don't have to be there to help them be in balance. I can call them. But meaning making, helping them find purpose, significance, and meaning in life. Sometimes you find it in their childhood. You can just recall what they used to love to do and point that out. And that is your purpose. Most of us know our purpose, but because life be lifing, we lose our purpose along the way, along the path. Prayer or intentions, holding a supportive, intentional or intention or prayer for their well-being and healing is very important. I still pray, I meditate, I recite affirmations, I do all of that for all of my children and all of my true friends and associates, all of my family. I pray for them every night before I go to bed, because I knew my grandmother and my grandfather prayed for me. And I even have a play that I'm going to produce, because next year I'm going to start producing conscious plays where there'll be a 45-minute to an hour play connecting to a lecture or a person that can come in and deliver a profound lecture, whether it's Dr. Phil Valentine, whether it's Dr. Alicia, whether it's whoever. They can talk on the subject of that play, depression or molestation or healthy communication, all that, holistic health. Queen of Four used to do holistic plays also. So I'm going to be producing that next year. Holding a supportive intentions or prayer for their well-being and healing. We have to pray and heal and do every modality that's going to help our young people by any and all means necessary. Number 11, spiritual communities, connecting them with a supportive community that shares similar values and beliefs. And I'm not talking about because y'all smoke weed, y'all are sharing the weed. But are they really sharing similar values and belief that will help? Supportive. Remember that key word right here is supportive community. Supporting them to be great, supporting them to be their best, supporting them in their values and their belief system to be the best they can be. Number 12, inner wisdom and trust. Inner wisdom, trust, encouraging your young people, your teenagers, encouraging them to trust their intuition and their inner guidance. I remember with my child, my youngest child, Jordan Malik. And if you're watching, I'm talking to you. I remember being around my mother's table at my mother's house, and he was just a young guy, 7 years old. And we played a intuitive game, and he remembers, because I remember telling him, I said, you remember? And he's 18 now. He remember. I said, remember when we was around your mother's table and I took the cards and I said, guess what color this is, or guess what? And he was able to get out of all 5 of them, he gets all 4 of them. And because the last one he started overthinking, that's when he missed it. But I took the cards that had colors and I said, guess which color this is, guess what color this is, guess what? And out of 4 out of 5, he got all of them right. His inner wisdom. He has to learn to trust. Your children have to learn to trust the inner wisdom, encouraging them to trust their intuition and inner guidance, because it's the true guidance before numerology, astrology, any spiritual teacher and leader. The true guidance is your inner guidance, your intuition, your spidey senses, your gut feeling. And you got to teach your young people as well as yourself to trust in that. By addressing depression from a spiritual perspective, you can help teenagers and young adults. Here's some solutions. Reconnect with their inner selves. Find meaning and purpose. Develop resilience and coping skills. Cultivate self-love and acceptance. Experience personal growth and transformation. Everybody take a picture of that. Let me take me off of the board. Y'all don't need to see me. Let me take myself off of here. Take a picture of that. Take a Photoshop photo. What it says, what did I say in the beginning? By addressing depression from a spiritual perspective, you can help teenagers and young adults, 1, reconnect with their inner selves. 2, find meaning and purpose. 3, develop resilience and coping skills. 4, cultivate self-love and acceptance. And 5, experience personal growth and transformation. Spiritual support should complement professional and therapeutic help, not replace it. So if you are putting your children under therapy, just make sure you're not drugging them up and try to do it as natural as possible, but it should complement whatever spiritual support that we're doing, or numerational support, or astrological support that we're doing. It can complement professional and therapeutic help with the Dr. Alicia's, with the Malika Ali's, with the light workers out there that are doing their work. Not replace it. We're trying to complement it and find balance. Next, another set of notes that I took: healing teenagers and young adults from depression holds profound spiritual significance as it restores connection. Number one, restores connection to purpose, help them rediscover meaning and passion in their life. Number two, rekindles hope and faith, encourages trust in themselves, others, and the universe. Number three, fosters self-love and acceptance, promotes compassion, self-worth, and self-acceptance. Number four, breaks cycles of pain, interrupts patterns of negativity, allowing for new perspective. Number five, empowers personal growth, supports development or resilience, coping skills, and emotional intelligence. Number six, renews sense of belonging, helps them reconnect with others, building supportive relationships. Number seven, illuminates inner strength, reveals their capacity for resilience, adaptability, and courage. Number eight, unveils spiritual awakening, may spark exploration of spirituality, values, and life's big questions. Number nine, foster gratitude and appreciation, encourages focus on the present and appreciation for life's beauties. Number 10, reflect the power of compassion. Not deflect it, reflect it. Reflect the power of compassion. Demonstrates the impact of empathy, kindness, and understanding. By supporting teenagers and young adults in their healing journey, we help them reclaim their lives and futures, empower them to thrive and grow, witness the resilience of the human spirit, demonstrate the transformational or transformative power of love and compassion, contribute to a more compassionate and supportive community. Y'all take a picture of that. By supporting teenagers and young adults in their healing journey, we help them reclaim their lives and future, empower them to thrive and grow, witness the resilience of the human spirit, demonstrate the transformative power of love and compassion, contribute to a more compassionate and supportive community. In essence, healing from depression is a sacred journey, allowing young individuals to reclaim their lives, rediscover their purpose, and unlock their full potential is such an important part of it. Family, I hope y'all really enjoyed what I shared. I hope this is really helpful to all of you, because today's lesson was about numerovational and spiritual perspective of helping teenagers and young adults with depression. And sometimes some of us as young people, some of us as adults, are holding on to things from our teenage and our young adult ways. Some of us are still holding on to it. And remember, you don't have to share Cash App with me today, or whatever time you may be watching this. Share it with the family that I spoke about, because they just lost a very powerful young man who did live life the right way. Went to school, got out of high school, went into the military, did well in the military, got married to his mate, more than likely after he left the military. Took care of his family, helped his mother, helped his sister, was a best friend to his sisters. Good overall brother. Showed them love through Cash App. It's pinned on the top of this video too. Spread love to them, the Jackson family. They just lost him in a motorcycle accident. They just lost him. And I love him. He was such a good son, a good boy. He was one of my spiritual sons. He wasn't my biological, but if he was one of my biological, I would be a proud father. If he was my biological, he would have been my big up to his father, his father, Mr. Jackson. And big up to that whole family. Again, let me share the picture of them before I leave. Let me share the picture of him and his mom's, who is a dear friend of mine. The mom in the red dress. Lady with the red dress on. She loved my singing because she knew I could sing. They loved my singing. They used to sing with me when they were younger. Rest in peace, Troy. You're going to be deeply missed. Rest in peace, young man. Rest in peace and power. And may the ancestors take you along your journey. I know in the first part of it, you might be going through some stuff because you're probably not familiar with what's happening in the other side, but it's all right. Justice Troy Jackson, if you're in the room with me and in this feed with me, Papa Simon loves you. Papa Simon loves you. Thank you for always respecting me as a potential father figure in your life. Thank you and your sisters and your mother. He was a real good boy, a real good brother that turned out to be a great man. Family, show them some love if you can. Show them some love if you can. That's their Cash App. It's pinned to the top. I will not be coming back on screen. I'm looking all snotty nose and teared up. I'm not coming back to the screen. But I had to close out with this young man. Let me read what I said again on my post. I said, rest in peace to my little brother and spiritual son, Justice Troy Jackson, who called me Papa Simon since he was younger. Respectfully. May the ancestors carry you into the realms of the greats before you. And to my dear friend, Lorraine Jackson, I love you and her wonderful daughters, whom I've known since they were children. Aisha Jackson and Nakira Pineapple Jackson. My deepest condolences and love goes out to all of you and the family. Family, on that note, have a great day, afternoon, or evening. I love you because I love myself, and there's nothing you could do about it. And if you are anybody that's going through any form of depression, relationship, whatever, children, contact therapist, Dr. Alicia. That's her link tree. Let me scroll this on the bottom. Hold on a second. Let me scroll the Jackson Family Cash App on the bottom. Dr. Alicia, linktree /Dr. Alicia. And when you do talk to her, tell her King Simon sent you. Tell her King Simon sent you. Tell her King Simon sent you. Point blank, period. Dr. Malika Ali.com. Malika Ali is spelled MALIKAHALI.com. She's good. She's a clinician, mental clinician, and she deals with mental health in her own creative and holistic way. If people are suffering from suicide, don't be afraid to give them the suicide hotline. Suicide Prevention Lifeline. That's what they call it. Suicide Prevention Lifeline.org website. That's www.suicidepreventionlifeline.org. Or you can call 1-800-273-8255. That's 1-800-273-8255. Thank you very much, family. Again, support the family. The Cash App is scrolling and the Cash App is pinned on the top of the link. I'm not going to come back on the screen. Just want to go out and show this young man love. Today's lesson was called New Motivational Perspective of helping teenagers and young adults with depression. Have a great day, afternoon, or evening. Be safe, be great. Talk to you another time. Remember, tomorrow we're going to have tomorrow myself and Carrie Ann Ingram was just going to chill and talk to the audience if y'all want to call in or whatever. Next week, Wednesday, we have Supernova Slum. We have Supernova Slum coming in next week, Wednesday. We haven't done the flyer yet, but we're going to be doing the flyer. We got Supernova Slum coming in. And don't forget, support Sri Master Gano Grills. He got a big event coming up. Go to galacticus.com. September 8th, we have Overcoming Imposter Syndrome and the Fear of Success with Dr. Judge. Remember, I got this big tribute to Baba Dick Gregory, October 13th. Matter of fact, that's Lorraine Jackson's birthday, October 13th. That's her birthday. She's born the same day as Tisha Campbell, the actress. And to close out that day will be Baba Ashra Kwesi and Mira Kwesi. Mira Kwesi might not make it, but the daughter might come instead. And she's a holistic practitioner and yoga, Kemetic yoga teacher. Dr. B will be there. Brother Rich will be there. Those are my special invited guest speakers. Tassila Ma'at would open up with the libation. Brother Red Pill and Blue Pill have a nice little presentation. Red Pill, Blue Pill will be providing Mama's Cosmic Kitchen. He'll be providing the only food vendor that will be there. Lorenzo Sanford, astrologer and musician from the Fela Kuti play. He will be providing the musical interlude for tribute to Dr. Baba Dick Gregory. And High Heels will be also opening up. Sister High Heels, Sister Golda, with a connection with the Nation of Islam and Dick Gregory. And then to close out that whole day will be Ashra Kwesi. All right. If you're into martial arts, November 9th, this is going to be big. Tribute to the Sanukis man himself, Grandmaster Lumumba Hernandez. Support Carrie Ann Ingram. CarrieAnnIngram.com. That's CarrieAnnIngram.com. CarrieAnnIngram.com. Big up to my beautiful sisters. The one, the only, Levin University. Big up to Levin University. Hit her up and text her if you want to book a session with her. She does cardology, astrology, numerology. I ain't afraid to share wealth. She does it differently, just like I do it differently from her. Text 470-775-6434 if you want to book any one of those sessions that she has available or get any of her books. She's an author also. If you want to work from home, currently they are interviewing for people who want to work from home, part-time, full-time, choose your own time. Text hire me to 770-861-9906. That's 770-861-9906. Those are my paid advertisers. 770-861-9906. Do you want to work from home, part-time or full-time? Go ahead. Company trips, get paid daily, but you must have a clean background. Big up to Lloyd Strayhorn, Lloyd-Strayhorn.com. Make sure you support Lloyd-Strayhorn.com. Call him at his 800 number 581-4401. And remember, big up to Amira that does cartomancy. She's a yoga teacher and a Reiki master. Big up to Amira. 518-796-7638. Go and book a session with her. Yoga online, Reiki, or you could do her cartomancy. Little different than cardology, but they both work out from their own perspective. Big up to my son in the studio with him and Jeff Green, StudioNYC.com. If you want to book a session with me, please text me your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. I have two different types of sessions, 15 minutes and 30 minutes. Once you text me, I will send you the details. Limited offer with my cups, t-shirts, pendants, and also writing pad. from August 19th to September 19th. You can go to teespring.com/numerovation-products. If you want to take my Udemy course, I think it's now $10.99 online. It's usually $74.99. Go to udemy.com/holistic numerovation course, holistic numerovation. If you want to get any of my books, go to linktree/King Simon the Numerovator, or you can go to Amazon.com. And I still got this going on. If you buy my collector's item, my collector's edition, for $88.88, I will send you one of Billy Carson's books for free, absolutely free. But you know, this has been the price of this book for a while. So it's a hardcover because I don't print it regularly. So please let me know by putting your description, and in the description, you tell me which one of the Billy Carsons out of his 4 books, which one you want. All right. Remember what Dr. B says: I forgive myself, my family, and others for imperfection, and I am thankful for my life. And remember what Dr. Blair used to say: please, Universal Creator, know in my heart that I love you. Please protect me and this planet on which I live now. Please open my mind, my spirit, and my soul to receive only truth in your love now. Want to shout out beautiful person that I spoke to recently named Fatima. Big up to Fatima and her whole family. I won't tell you which Fatima that is, but big up to Fatima and her whole family. We had a great conversation this morning. Beautiful. Big up to color therapist Millicent Sense, I call her Millicent Simmons. Look out for her. Color therapy is a very important factor in our life, and I'm going to be interviewing her when she's ready. I'll be bringing her on. She's a part of that team. Like High Heels is a part of the team. My son Shia, he's a part of the team, and people like Katrina is a part of my extended team. Lorraine Jackson, she's a part of my extended team. My ex-wives are part of my extended team when they ready, you know, and my children are a part of my extended team. But color therapy is going to be very important, so look out for that coming up in the near future. By next month, y'all go to Color Curiosity by Color Curiosity LLC. Y'all going to see starting. And if you want color therapy done through Zoom or in person, the sister's going to be able to do it. She might even be able to fly in and meet clients at a public area. Just remember, you can always rent out library space for free. If you have a library card, you can always the public library usually have big rooms or small rooms that you could rent out or for free because you have a library card and you're up to par and up to standards, and you could use their facility for a very reasonable rate or for absolutely free, depending on what you want to do. All public libraries, the main branch usually has this. All right. So family, have a great day, afternoon, or evening. This has been the numerovational and spiritual perspective of helping teenagers and young adults with depression. Take care, and I'll speak to you next time. Content disclaimer: the views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Copyright disclaimer: under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachers, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed.
You want to be a spiritually dynamic person, it starts with the basics of getting your character in order first.
Join us today for 3 unique presentations. Apotheosis, Friday, August 30th. Ultra Nahata, Saturday, August 31st. Awakenings, Sunday, September 1st. In Atlanta, Georgia, early bird tickets and discount room and group rates are available at events.galacticus.com.
King Simon, King Simon, I love him. He's family, and he has one of the top shows on the Forbidden Knowledge TV network, actually.
That's right.
So make sure you guys check that out if you haven't.
Yeah, this show is called, it was really based on numerovation. It's a numerology show, and it's called How to Calculate Your Destiny.
Yes.
By King Simon. He's the host of the show. The show has done so well, we're now getting ready to start working on filming season 2. All right, so King Simon, one of the top shows on Forbidden Knowledge TV, streaming TV platform.
It's the numerovational session with King Simon. Text your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. And get my books on Amazon now. So remember, our job as studiers of these metaphysical, esoteric knowledge is to help enhance people to be better. I, as a numerator, using the numbers, or quote-unquote numerals, and motivation to get people to understand why they need to activate their numbers to be their very best self and maximize it. Because the numerals hold a frequency. And if you're willing to turn up that frequency, then that frequency can help to guide you and navigate you to a higher height that will allow you to spiral to be your best self. We must remember that.